Starting with a clean slate for a large front flower bed can be both exciting and a bit overwhelming. The possibilities are endless, and the landscape is your canvas, but how do you ensure that your flower bed will be visually stunning, balanced, and thriving for years to come? In this video, we're going to break down the process of creating a flower bed plan from the ground up. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or a beginner, this guide will help you design a bed that not only elevates your curb appeal but also reflects your unique style. Let's dive into the first step, understanding your space. It's essential to take the time to truly understand your front yard, because the layout, lighting, soil type, and weather conditions will all influence what plants will thrive. Before diving into plant selections or even sketching, we need to assess the area and gather some key information. Step 1. Analyze the location. To get started, grab a measuring tape, and begin by measuring the dimensions of the flower bed area. Is it a wide stretch or a smaller, more intimate space? You'll want to know the length and width of the bed, as well as how much space you have between existing structures like walkways, fences, and walls. Take a few notes on any barriers, like tree roots, that might influence the planting. Next, pay attention to the sun exposure. Does your flower bed get full sun, partial shade, or is it mostly shaded? A bed with full sun will offer more options for vibrant, sun-loving plants, while a shaded area might need plants that tolerate less sunlight. Step 2. Sketching the shape of the bed. Now, let's get creative. Using your measurements, sketch out the basic shape of the flower bed. This doesn't have to be perfect, just get the rough shape down. You may want to make the shape curvy for a more natural look or go with clean lines for a more structured, formal design. Consider how the shape will flow with the rest of the garden and house. A long, sweeping curve can create an elegant, flowing feel, while geometric shapes can provide a bold, contemporary vibe. Step 3. Select the right plants. This is where the real fun begins. Selecting the plants for your flower bed is not only about picking what looks nice but also what will thrive in your specific conditions. So, take your sun exposure and climate into consideration. Start by thinking about plant height. You want taller plants at the back of the bed, if it's against a wall or fence, and shorter ones towards the front to create a tiered effect. The key is to avoid blocking sightlines, especially if the bed is in a prominent location. Some great tall plants for the back of the bed include sunflowers, hollyhocks, and delphiniums, while shorter plants could include pansies, marigolds, and petunias. Step 4. Choose plants with different bloom times to keep your flower bed looking fresh and colorful all year round. Think about the timing of your blooms. Consider mixing spring, summer, and fall bloomers. You don't want to plant everything that blooms in May and nothing that flowers in October. By staggering your bloom times, you'll have something in bloom in every season. For example, tulips and daffodils are great spring choices, while roses and lavender can bloom throughout the summer. In the fall, plants like asters and chrysanthemums will keep the colors vibrant. Make sure to do some research on the plants you choose to ensure they are compatible with your climate and bloom at different times of the year. Step 5. Incorporate texture and foliage. Color is not the only important factor to consider when designing your flower bed. Texture is equally essential. Different leaf shapes, sizes, and colors can create a more dynamic, layered look. Consider adding some plants with contrasting foliage, such as the broad leaves of hostas or the delicate, feathery leaves of ferns. These different textures can break up the monotony of flowers and add visual interest. Additionally, plants with variegated or colorful foliage, such as ornamental grasses or coleus, can add another layer of beauty and surprise. Step 6. Consider planting density and spacing when drawing out your plan. Make sure you're thinking about how far apart your plants need to be for optimal growth. Overcrowding can lead to disease, poor air circulation, and a garden that looks messy and unkempt. On the other hand, too much space between plants can result in a sparse appearance. Research each plant's mature size and space accordingly. You want the plants to fill in naturally over time without crowding each other out. Step 7. Plan for maintenance. You might be dreaming of a flower bed that looks perfect every season, but the reality is that some plants will require more care than others. Think about the level of maintenance you're willing to commit to. If you don't want to spend hours on upkeep, go for low-maintenance plants such as lavender, sedum, or black-eyed Susans. If you're interested in growing plants that need a bit more attention, like roses or certain tropical flowers, make sure you're ready to do the pruning, deadheading, and watering that they require. A good mix of easy care and slightly more demanding plants will keep your garden looking beautiful without overwhelming you. Step 8. Color scheme and design. Now that you've decided on the plants, it's time to think about colors. Flower beds are often the focal point of the garden, so color plays a huge role in creating the desired impact. You can go for a bold, contrasting look with complementary colors like purple and yellow, or you can opt for a more harmonious, soft look with pastel shades. Think about how the colors of your flowers will interact with the rest of your home's exterior as well as the surrounding landscape. If your house is painted in neutral tones, you may want to incorporate vibrant flowers. If your home has a lot of color, soft pastels or whites might be a better fit. Step 9. Add complementary features. While flowers are the star of the show, consider adding complementary elements like decorative stones, garden statues, or small water features. These accents can add dimension and interest to your flower bed, making it even more eye-catching. However, it's important to ensure that these elements don't overshadow the plants. Keep them subtle and understated so the flowers remain the focal point. Another option is adding ground cover plants or low-growing plants to fill in gaps and create a seamless look. Creeping thyme, creeping jenny, or moss are great choices for ground cover. Step 10. Irrigation and drainage. Irrigation and drainage are key factors in ensuring your flower bed thrives. If your area tends to get a lot of rain, make sure the bed has good drainage to prevent waterlogging, which can drown the plants. Adding organic matter like compost to the soil can help improve drainage. For dry areas, you may want to set up a simple irrigation system to ensure that your plants get consistent watering, especially in the summer months. Drip irrigation or soaker hoses are great options to keep water near the plant roots without wasting water. Step 11. Finalizing your plan. Now that you've gathered your measurements, selected your plants, and considered all the necessary details, it's time to finalize your design. Review your plan and make sure that all elements are balanced. Do the colors flow together? Are the taller plants in the back and shorter ones in the front? Is the spacing correct? This is the stage where you can make adjustments before you start planting. Once you're happy with your flower bed plan, it's time to start putting it into action. This could involve preparing the soil, adding compost, and setting up your irrigation system. The best part about creating a front flower bed is that it's a dynamic project. As seasons change, you'll have the opportunity to adjust and add new elements to the garden. You might find new plants to try or discover ways to refresh the design. Conclusion: designing and planning a flower bed can be incredibly rewarding. It gives you the opportunity to express your creativity and enhance the beauty of your front yard. Remember, it's not about rushing the process, it's about taking the time to plan and ensure your flowers have the best chance to thrive. By following these steps, you can create a stunning, vibrant flower bed that brings joy to your home for years to come. It's a space that's not only beautiful, but also reflects your personal style and love for gardening. Happy planting!